Charles and Ray believed the role of the designer is basically that of a good host, anticipating the needs of the guest. The comfort definitely belongs in there as one of the things you're thinking about. I've met so many people where the lounge chair was the present they got themselves when they had accomplished a certain milestone. When I started this, I didn't realize how moving that would be for me personally. If somebody's going to spend a couple of decades looking forward to it, it's a very good motivator for how we have to get it right. By doing it right, it's an heirloom.
The lounge chair in Ottoman, which was produced in 1956, its origin story was in 1940. When Ray and Charles got married and were first working on the production of the molded plywood chair, they realized very quickly they'd have to make both the prototypes and the machine that made the prototypes. I remember as a granddaughter walking through the office and you would see molded plywood chairs. They surrounded themselves with iterations of these projects that helped them form their children's furniture, the encasements from the radio speakers, the leg splint, the body litter.
The journey of the lounge chair is the journey of molded plywood. The design brief, in a sense, was what would be the modern equivalent of the Old English club chair. And then they had this idea that it should have the same feeling of a well-used first baseman's mitt. That was typical of the way Charles and Ray would describe a brief. It was often something intangible and almost ineffable. You're trying to design the most comfortable chair ever. So naturally, it took a couple of years.
I loved seeing all the materials that they used and were exploring. They were on the cutting edge of what these materials could or could not do. They were always considering what the options were.
Whatever the upholstery was, it had to perform a structural function in a very specific way. If it doesn't, then it's not an Eames lounge chair. And now we're using different materials in response to different things that are going on the planet. People often say, oh, well, we want one of the originals. They are all originals. We're not changing it, we're just helping it be itself today.
It's always a chair, the chair that everyone recognizes, whether they sat in one or they saw one on TV. When you sit in a lounge chair in Ottoman, you're a guest of my grandparents.